Good morning, everyone. You have to pardon my voice. My goodness, I have been so sick. I haven't been able to kick this cold for a hot minute now. So I'm going to be going mute in and out because I'm going to be like beating some eggs, and I don't like to do that by hand. I like to use my little bowl mixer. It makes it a lot easier and it makes them fluffy. But I hope everyone's doing great today. Did anybody catch Wildflowers live this morning? Oh, yeah, that the eggs went up here. Okay, great. That's perfect. Hi, good morning, whoever is watching. How are you doing today? Please let me know if the audio is working well. All of you are welcome, even those who like to troll. We just want to keep it kind around here. We'll just talk. Again, pardon me for the nature of my voice. I have been so sick. I had to do like one of those saline flushes through my sinuses this morning. And my goodness gracious, I'm probably going to have to go to the doctor and get some antibiotics. Sorry about that. Listen, darlings, don't be shy. Say good morning. Let's talk. What's been going on in these YouTube streets, huh? Huh? A lot of crazy stuff going on out here. I hope everybody's taking care of their mental health, honestly, because and it's just been a lot lately. It really has. Hi, how y'all doing? There's four of you in here. Wow. Hi, Pam. How are you? Well, I hope you have a great day, honey. What are you doing? You going out for Christmas shopping? Honey, oh, it is so nice to see you. Thank you for coming. You guys are having a great day. I'm sure everybody is so busy today. I tell you. Excuse me. Pam, I hope you have a better day, ma'am. Whatever you're doing today, I hope it's incredibly productive. No, I'm just practicing going live. I'm going to start going live more on my channel. But it's like Saturday morning. It's very calm. I started off the morning with some wildflower tea. Did you guys see her live? She was talking about Krishan and Blueface. And listen, I'm not really into celebrities, but I just really like Krishan. I really do. I'm just always rooting for her. I just think that she's really got something great about her. And her son, oh my goodness gracious, what a little doll baby. What a little doll baby. Oh, my goodness. I hope I kick this cold soon. I'm not kicking this cold, but it sure is kicking me. Mom baby, I'm hoping you're having an even better day. A more wonderful day. The best day that there ever was. And I hope all of you watching attack today with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. I mean, you just get after it. Get after it. I would like for my immune system to attack whatever cold I have with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. That would be just superb. Really. Oh, my head is just so congested. I had to flush out my sinuses. Normally, my voice is not this deep. It's not this deep. It's not that deep. I think it's funny when I'm watching my little circle kind of just, move around when I talk. And then I see my picture and I'm like, oh my gosh, the voice and the voice and the face, they just don't match. They just don't match. What are you doing today, Moon Baby? Without lube? Oh, that is so freaking rude. Without dinner? Oh my goodness. Listen, that's not okay. We can't be having all of that. And it's so early in the morning, too. My goodness. Your first marriage. Well, we learn. We learn. We live and we learn. Now, I'm going to be going mute here in a little bit because I don't like to beat my eggs by hand because I like fluffy eggs. I'm making some bacon and eggs this morning. And I just don't like to do that by hand. I think maybe it's a little lazy. I'm sure there'll be some critics. My gosh, Euphoria, the scandal! She won't beat her eggs by hand. The lazy whore. Where's my beater? Mom baby, forgive me. I do not want to assume, and I am incredibly intrigued. What is a death doula? Do you want me to drop a link and you can come up and talk to me about it, or would you like to type in the chat? Either one is perfectly fine. I can always use the practice going live and having discussions with others. But if you feel more comfortable typing in chat, but I'm very intrigued. I don't want to assume. I would love to know what a death doula is. At the pharmacy. Oh my. I'll tell you what, our pharmacists, they've been going through it lately. I heard that the pharmacists, maybe it was at CVS or Walgreens. I can't remember, but they were going on strike. I know, Betty. We know how important doulas are for pregnancy. So I would have to assume they are just as vital for passing on, into whatever comes next. I am so intrigued. Moon Baby, if you do not have time this morning, I would love for you to come back to my channel. Maybe reach out to me I'm on TikTok. You can give me my email. You can reach me on Instagram. Would love to learn what you're learning about. Yes, that's so interesting. All right, babes, I'm going to be going mute for just a moment so I don't hurt anybody's ears and get these eggs beat within an inch of their life, okay? I'll be right back. You can type in the chat if you'd like, or you can leave, but come back and talk. Oh, yeah. You know what? I can you yes, please add me. Would love to learn about what you're talking about here because I just feel like that is just something really important. I didn't even know that a death doula was an option for people. All right, I'm going mute. We get these eggs beat. Yes, Moon Baby. I actually believe the links are on my channel, but I am Euphoria across the board, sweetheart. I tell you what, these eggs did not know what hit them. I just beat them within an inch of their life. Oh my goodness gracious. Having bacon and eggs. What is everybody else having for breakfast? And if you're not a breakfast person, how do you break your fast? I'm not a breakfast person. Oh, kisses to you. I have a plethora of children in my home. I'm going to tell you what, that has a lot to do with why I have not been around. I have only been observing in the background. Betty, you're speaking to my soul, man. No, Moon Baby, that is perfectly fine. Now, I don't post my babies on my socials because people are absolutely crazy. But if the 5 people who are here, well, excluding Moon Baby, because she's got to go, she's got shit she's got to do. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse. I don't mean to curse. I'm going to try to do my best to keep it clean because I know that people have little ones running around in the background and maybe they want to listen, to a live or something, and they don't want to hear all these F bombs. And listen, that is no shade to anybody else out there who is, using colorful language. Trust and believe it would be harder for me to not curse than to curse, you know? Um, but yeah, I'm actually working a cup of coffee right now. These eggs and these bacon, that's for the babies. I got several babies running around. But I'll get into what happened to me and why I have only been hanging around in the bushes. Need to wipe this skillet out. I'm using the same skillet that I made the bacon in. Yum. Okay, so let's take it back, right, to 2021. Because, yeah, my story starts way, way, way before that. I'm talking like I was born in 2021. But anyway, I digress. So, 2021, where is my, there. 2021. It's December, and lo and behold, your girl is pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't find out I was pregnant until January 6th, 2022. Yeah, it was around that time. And I was so sick. I mean, this pregnancy was beating my butt. Absolutely just destroying me. And I told my partner that I was pretty sure I had more than one baby in there. Either that or I had a molar pregnancy. And if you know what a molar pregnancy is, you can imagine I was probably on pins and needles for quite a while. So, yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. Um, in the first trimester, before I really knew whether I had a molar pregnancy, whether I had multiple babies, I started bleeding one night. I had to go to the hospital, and they were like, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry, you lost one of your babies." What's going on? Oh, she's fine. She's fine. Oh, come here, baby. So anyway, so I can't have the babies in the kitchen whenever I'm cooking, but one of my littles is like bound and determined she's gonna be in here doing a chef boyardee. Hey, I gotta beat these eggs again. I'm gonna mute. I'll be right back, picking up with me being in the emergency room my first trimester. Do y'all use milk in your eggs whenever you're scrambling them? Don't mind the babies. They're fine. They're in the playpen. They're all hanging out watching some Bluey. I'm back. Now, Betty, I don't know anybody else who uses milk in their scramble either. I don't know where I learned to do it that way, but I just did it. I don't know. It just makes the eggs very creamy. I will say that. Okay, so where was I? Where was it? Okay, so first trimester. I think that I'm having a miscarriage. I'm in the emergency room, and they do an ultrasound, and they were like, "Okay, well, there's one of your babies. You know, you still have another baby. It does look like you lost one." And I was like, "Oh my goodness! I guess it's called vanishing twin syndrome, right?" So they told me to follow up with the OBGYN. You know, the next Monday. I believe this was a Saturday when I went. And so I was on my way to OBGYN, and I was just praying. I was like, you know what, God, please. I, I never realized how much I would love more than one baby. And maybe I'm being selfish and asking you for more than one baby. But, you know, if you'd like to give me more than one baby, I would surely love that so much. But I'm grateful for the baby that is still in me. And getting the OBGYN, get the I think it's called transvaginal ultrasound, and they can be very uncomfortable, especially like when you're on that cusp from like going from the transvaginal to like the surface with like the wand that they use on the um and get in there, and the lady is like, the tech, sorry, I don't want to like disregard her professional title. The tech is like, oh, there's baby A and there's baby B, and I'm like, what do you mean? They said I lost a baby. And she said, well, maybe you did lose a baby because it looks like you had triplets. And wow, my mind was blown because I did not have in vitro. I conceived my multiples naturally, and it's called inovulation. I didn't split any eggs. I threw a plethora of eggs out, and my partner was like, hey, you know what? You like it, I love it. Let's do this. And so I had 3 fertilized eggs, and then lost one in the first trimester. So then I was down to twins, and they were die twins where there's like 2 placentas. So yeah. Anyway, pardon me. The talking is definitely helping me get my larynx, like getting the rust busted off my larynx. But anyway, I'm rambling. So back to the point. I just carry on business as usual. Going to work, doing my things. Oh, Betty, it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate that extension of your condolences. I've come to terms with it. I can tell you what, based off of what I know now, if I had kept carrying those triplets, if I had kept carrying, I think all 3 babies would have died. This story gets much more tragic, believe it or not. So, and I'm moving around my kitchen. I'm sorry if you're having a hard time hearing me. I will try to project my voice as well as I can. So, first trimester is hard. I am so sick all the daggone time. I'll tell you what. Twin pregnancies, the amount of hormones that puts into your body, you'll stay very ill. And if you had a twin pregnancy and you didn't stay ill, God bless you. Love that for you. My experience was not the same. So I'm going to work, doing my thing, and I'm on my feet a lot at work. I'm a mover, and I work out. I work out pretty often, and the name is pretty much like whatever you were doing pre-pregnancy is safe to keep doing. Now that's not the time. Once you get pregnant, it's not the time to start a running program. It's not a good idea to do that. But if you were walking every night, you should be walking. You should be continuing doing that. Moving, getting that blood flowing is very good for you and your babies. Sorry, this story gets a little hard to talk about from time to time. But anyway, it was around 21 weeks. Well, I'm so sorry. Let me back up. It was either 18 weeks. It was 18 weeks, 18 or 19 weeks. I had to go get my cervix checked to make sure that the weight of the babies, the weight of the placentas wasn't causing me to lose the length of my cervix. Hi, Terry. Good morning, honey. We're just having breakfast and a little story time of where I have been and why I've not been around. And I'm just cooking some breakfast up for my kiddos. We're doing a little bacon and eggs. So, Terry, I'm telling the story of what was going on in my life from 2021 to present. It'll make a lot of sense on why I had time to watch, why I didn't have time to watch, and why I might have had time to only watch and not even interact. But anyway, not the point right now. So, I had my cervix checked around 19 weeks, I believe. Make sure I wasn't losing it because of all the weight that was inside my womb. It's a lot to carry the placentas, the sac, 2 babies. And You know, sometimes they decide they got to stitch your cervix closed to buy you more time. They did not feel that I was a candidate for that, but they said everything was going good. They took a measurement of my cervix, and I kept it pushing. Around 21 weeks, I'm at my job, and yeah, I'm feeling a little tired, a little funny, whatever. It's not a big deal. And at night, I go home, and I lose my mucus plug. I don't lose just a little bit. I mean, I lost, I guarantee, the whole thing. The whole thing. And you can grow your mucus plug back, but it's never good. It's never a good sign when you lose your mucus plug that early in pregnancy. And keep in mind, I was around 21 weeks and some change, maybe 21.5. I called the doctor, the emergency line, and us as women know the people are not really inclined to believe us, which is very sad. They tried to tell me and try to talk to me about vaginal discharge. I was a little insulted by that. I'm not gonna lie. I know what a mucus plug looks like, and I know what a vaginal discharge looks like. And I can tell you what, there's a stark difference. And anybody who tells you that there isn't is lying. You know the difference. So, talk to the doc. They're like, nah, you're dumb. It's discharge. I'm like, listen, I'm in pain, okay? I'm in pain. A lot of pressure. And I suffer from chronic pain. So it's hard to really know when I am in a lot of pain. I know if you suffer with chronic pain, you'll understand because your baseline and your perception of pain is so warped from the average human because you spend every day learning how to cope with the pain, learning how to ignore it. So your mind doesn't register really that anything is wrong. You're just uncomfortable, generalized uncomfort, right? But I tell them, hey, I'm not doing too hot. Sweetheart, breakfast. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon. All right, Terry, it's so nice to see you, honey. I hope you're doing well. So I get to the doctor's office. They're like, okay, come on in. So I get to the doctor's office, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're in labor. I'm like, wow, no about that. And like, oh my God, I lost a mucus plug. I'm like, oh my goodness, you don't say. How bizarre. It's like I was trying to tell somebody that maybe that happened. So they go ahead, they get me in the back, they start putting the monitors on, start monitoring the baby, and they're arranging for me to be transported to a specialty hospital. And they advised me at that time, being 21 weeks and some change, that they do not resuscitate if they can't stop the labor. So that means that they can't stop the labor, my babies are not going to make it. Which is very, very heartbreaking. And it was very sad, as you would be. But one of the nurses, she'd been around for a minute, she told me, hey, listen, I got some morphine for you here. I suggest you take it because the more you relax, the more that uterus will relax, the best chance we have of stopping the labor. And I was like, okay, bet, let's do it. You're the professional. So they morphine me up, send me on my way, and get to stay inpatient at the specialty hospital. And everything calms down completely. I'm so grateful, so blessed, so happy. All right. And so they send me home after about 3 days, 2 or 3 days. Honestly, I can't remember. I spent so much time in the hospital with this pregnancy. You don't even know. And it's about to get worse. So, hospital for 2 or 3 days inpatient. And, sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. They send me home. I go home and rest for a little bit, about a week, and then I go back to work. with strict instructions to stay off my feet and work on something administratively and, make sure I drink water, you know, don't be walking around if I start feeling any sort of way, like I'm going back to labor, get back to the hospital ASAP. So it's just on me to keep an idea of what's going on, or it's on me to be very in touch with my body and get help ASAP should poop hit the fan. I almost cursed right there, but I kept it in check. I only lasted work for about 4 days before I go back into full-blown labor again. And these are not Braxton Hicks. Like, I am going into labor. And I think I'm only at the hospital, they kept me until I was like 22 weeks and 1 day. And then send me home. So I was like on the cusp of being 23 weeks going back into labor. So I ended up back in the hospital and they were like, that's it. Normally we don't put you on bed rest, but guess what? You just bought yourself a first class ticket, straight to bed rest, get home. Terry, this was year 2022. So this is why I've been around, but I've only been in the background watching, not really having the energy or the mental focus or even really the want to super interact. So I just kind of wash around, type of thing. And because it sounds so nefarious whenever I say, no, I've been around. I've been around for a couple of years now, just been watching. That sounds really nefarious, and I put a community post up about what had kind of gone on with me a little bit, but I didn't really give too much detail. I thought that I would definitely save it for live, and I want to practice going live, so I figured a little story time of what was going on with me, would be a good idea. It's nice to see you here. Oh, babe, I don't know how I found half of y'all, but I could tell you there's quite a few of you that I like a lot. This community, y'all, we get down on ourselves because we're going through a hard time. Let me tell you something. There's some very kind, decent people in this community, and that cannot be overlooked. That cannot. Whew. Where is my cleaner? Okay, so I'm like 23, on the cusp of 23 weeks, and I go back into labor, and they're like, ma'am, you are going bed rest. My children are squabbling. I can't find my cleaning spray. What fresh hell is this? Where would I put that? Where's the darndest thing? Oh, I got another cleaning spray. Just use that. Oh. So there I was on bed rest. Oh, yeah. Oh, Terry, I'm so glad that you're here too, honey. I really like you, Terry. I really, really do. I don't really hope you're doing okay. I just feel so terrible. Some of the way people treat each other in this community. I just don't think there's any reason. I have never seen anything out of you that would justify just how cruel people have been. I just really have not. And you always have a safe and kind place here, Terry. I promise you that. Okay, I got some cleaning spray. It's not the one I make my own cleaning spray. I like Fabuloso. So I put a little Fabuloso and I put a little bit of Dawn dish detergent. And tell you what, obviously I dilute it. Don't just use it for full concentration on anything. I'll tell you what, that's right there. Clean anything up. Really. Cut the grease off or whatever you need. Sorry. You know what? I just want to say one thing. I have ADHD. I do have ADHD. For sure. Diagnosed, all that stuff medicated. So sometimes I am a little all over the place. If anybody in the chat is like, no, come back over here. Let's keep talking about what we need to talk about. By all means, I will not be offended. My channel is part of, your community right now as we speak. The little community of, Betty, Terry, myself, and whoever else was watching right there. Anyway, so I'm on bed rest. And I tell you what, everything's going good, actually. Everything's going good. Now I'm high risk pregnancy, and I am going to the doctor every week. But I'm at home. I'm resting. I'm working on growing my babies. I'm working on nesting at my own pace. Because I can't get up and move around a whole lot, but you know, I can at least I don't have to rush between working a full-time job and then coming home and trying to take care of business. And then it made taking care of my oldest child a lot easier as well, less stressful. And it gave me more time to really focus and help her understand everything that was happening along the way, because that must have been very scary for her. She was just a young kid. Or she's still a young kid, but she was a young kid. She didn't understand why mom keeps disappearing into the hospital, and she's not a dummy either. So it's not like I could really lie and be like, "Oh, I'm just going on vacation." My goodness gracious. Well, everything's going smooth, and it is around. I managed to get a whole month's worth of growing babies in my belly before tragedy really struck. And when I say tragedy, I'm not being, I'm not exaggerating. The whole thing is very tragic. So the story does have a happy ending, by the way. I don't want anybody to think that this is a sad story. No trigger warnings need to be happening. There is a happy ending in all of this. And so, but it was very tragic up until that. So anyway, I am growing my babies. I'm at 27 weeks and some change. And then my partner, who is in college right now, he comes home one day and he's like, "Oh man, I don't really feel that good." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry." And this was in June, beginning of June. So I'm so sorry. What can I do for you? And I give him kisses and hug him and stuff. Because he's my baby, and he's not really the type that gets the man flu. He's very tough, good, strong man. Well, lo and behold, the next day I get up, I see that it's summertime, and he's wearing a winter jacket in our house because he has such a high fever that he feels like he is freezing to death. And I'm like, oh no. So I get out the COVID test and I test him, and it is not even 3 minutes on that test, and it has turned positive. And I'm like, oh no. Let me tell you something about pregnancy and how it impacts the body. Your immune system depresses itself. So it doesn't look at the babies inside your womb as something it needs to attack and get rid of. And some women, their immune system doesn't do that. I can't remember what it's called, but there's some women whose immune system does not do that and attacks the babies. Oh, excuse me. My immune system is not attacking shit right now. Hi, Viper. Good morning, honey. I hope you're having a good breakfast. Good morning. It's going on lunch now. All right, guys, I need to get my children in here for the food. I'll be right back. I'm going to mute. And then remind me where I need to pick up. Oh, yeah, COVID. I just started the part of my journey where my partner got COVID. I'll be right back. Viper, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you just slept in this morning. There you go, sweetheart. All right, I got one BB in here. I gotta go get the other BB. I will be right back. Good morning, fashionista. Who is just like everybody know, Fashionista's a good friend of mine. I've known her for years. Oof. So, oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so everybody got the coffee and everything already. So, picking up where I left off. I'm changing a diaper right now. Ooh, let me get that out of your mouth. Goodness gracious. Okay, so found out my partner had COVID, and I was like, oh no. Let me tell you something. It was like less than 24 hours. I was so sick, right? So call my OBGYN and I'll let her know I got COVID. And she was like, oh my gosh, I need you to come in. We're going to push your appointment, the last appointment of the day. You got to come in. I got to take a look at you, right? So I go in and let me tell you something. I am deteriorating quickly. I mean, on the hour. It's not like I've really I can't really describe it, what was actually happening. Oh my goodness gracious. Don't do that, honey. As far as I think maybe I might have blocked out a lot of the pain. I could tell you it was the most painful illness I have ever been through. The the pain in my nose, the pain in my throat, it was awful, awful, awful. So my doctor, wonderful lady. Oh my goodness. She tells me, "Hey, you know what? I got to get you an artificial immune system." So I had to get the monoclonal antibodies, and I'll tell you something. People, where I live, they didn't want to take the vaccine. And it was under the impression that if they got COVID, they could just get the monoclonal antibodies and they would be okay. So that left a shortage for people like me who had no immune system, who really needed that. So I had to, with COVID and being pregnant with twins, ouch, ooh, got me on my hand, travel over an hour away to get these antibodies. I got them, right? Go home. I'm hoping I'm going to start feeling better. The next day, I don't feel any different, but I don't feel any worse. So I felt like that was a net positive. And then something starts to happen. 48 hours later, I got up to talk to my partner in the morning, see how he was doing, and I realized it was like was like there was something in my throat that had a hold of my voice box that was just squeezing it intermittently. I would be okay for a second, and then all of a sudden, I would just, it would just. It wasn't like my voice, my throat was so sore that I couldn't speak. It was like something was squeezing my voice box, and maybe it was because I was sick and fevered and I didn't realize what was going on. But my dumb self did not realize that I was losing my airway. That was my throat swelling shut from the inflammation that I had in my body, right? So at some point, I call the emergency line, the non-emergency nursing line. Sorry, after hours nursing line, and I let them know what's going on. And that nurse is like, "Hey, you need to call an ambulance. You need to call an ambulance. I think you're about to completely lose your airway." And so I was a little irritated because I was up and moving around and whatnot. But I was like, okay, I'll call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Lo and behold, it's the guy in the rig is a good friend of mine. So I'm like, great, that's great. This is gonna be fun. But he's a great paramedic. I couldn't have been in any better hands. So my partner hops in the truck, right? And this part of the story is actually sad, but it's kind of funny too. I mean, I definitely laugh about it a lot. Me and this gentleman, we do laugh about it. I see him pretty regularly. This is just a really small town where I live. So I'm in the rig, I'm in the back, I'm in the gurney. We're just having small talk, and he's starting to notice that my voice is going out. I don't really know exactly what was going on because I had like a little heart monitor on at that time, and I also had blood pressure cuff on. The monitoring my vitals, right? Fashionista, like I just like to know people. I like to know people. And when you have relationships with people and they become invested in you, your chances of surviving things might increase. It might, if you impact the world in a positive manner. I can't say that for everybody, but anyway, I digress. So something is going on with me that I can't possibly see, but the paramedic, he knows what's going on. And I tell you, he's on the phone. I hear him telling the ER provider, "Hey, I gotta give her this. I'm about to lose her. She is gonna code in this ambulance." And I just start feeling myself just like I want to just go to sleep. Just want to just go. I just want to not necessarily go anywhere. Like it's not like I didn't know that I was in the process of dying. I didn't really understand what was going on. But I can't. Oh, that's why no one see me around here at a time. Like I do understand that, and I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything that we have been through. Oh, Viper, they're here. I'm holding one of them now. This happened in 2022. It's why I wasn't around. That's why I was in the background. And at this time of the story, it's a June 2022. So I'm in the ambulance on the way to the nearest city that's got a big hospital that can potentially try to save my life. I didn't realize I was dying because we always overestimate our mortality. I'm so sorry about the background noise. 1 second. Oof. 2 seconds while I load up this Bambini. I'm going to put y'all on mute until I can fix the background noise. I hope Bluey is a staple in y'all's households as well. I love Bluey. Oh my gosh, I do. Oh, Fashionista. I love Bluey so much. It is such a cute little show. Oh, I gotta heat up the bacon. All right, so I'm in the rig. Shit's hitting the fan, but I don't know. I'm at peace. I'm having a good time. You know, in the paramedic who's my friend, I obviously already have an IV started. That's just a standard procedure for any type of medical transport. In case you have to do life-saving intervention, you want to have your patient prepped to receive that to help mitigate, delay in life-saving interventions and treatment. So I already have an IV. He looks at me and he says, "I'm so sorry." And I see him put something in the little port of my IV. He's like, "This is adrenaline. Please let me know if you don't feel anything." I don't really even understand exactly what's going on, but what I can tell you is whatever they saw, the vital signs, was enough for them to be like, "I have to hit her with adrenaline. She is dying." Okay, so he hits me with the adrenaline. Let me tell you something. If anybody here has never had adrenaline, I recommend it one time and one time only, just for the experience, because I did not realize that I was going towards the light until something grabbed a hold of me by the back of my neck and literally yanked me back into the world of the living. Let me tell you something. You can feel every single vein in your body. It is the trippiest, craziest feeling ever. I recommend everybody should have it at least once, just to say they tried it. I would never do it more than once, though. 1 second. You gotta disperse food. Hello, hello, Grace Gang. Grace, please respect my privacy. They are very nefarious people. You know me, and you've known me for a very long time. Do not, Grace Gang, at any point say anything personal about me. Do not say my name or anything the like. Please and thank you. I know that you're a very good egg. I miss you, by the way. I need to pop in some of your lives. But yeah, I go live. Yeah. Yes, I can. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tro. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so I get to the hospital, and let me tell you something. Y'all ever seen Pulp Fiction? Where Uma Thurman's character, she gets hit with that adrenaline in her chest. I mean, that's not how they administer it in real life, but that's kind of what you look like. When you're done. I looked a lot like that. I'll tell you what. My partner shows up to the emergency room and he sees me and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what happened to you?" It was a trip. Anyway. Oh, Grace Gang, do you know Betty? I know you know Fashionista. Fashionista, Grace Gang, Marissa, and I, we go way back. Like, way back. And Grace Gang, he goes way back with Marissa. I tell you what, them two, they have some stories. But that's a story for another time. And not my story to tell. Anyway, back to the story that I can tell. In the hospital, right? Let me tell you something about myself. I know how to read lab work. And I know a lot about medicine. I'm not going to tell you how I know those things because, not to be rude or anything like that, but that is my personal business. And as we know here, There are people who love to be all up in people's personal business and try to harm their lives. That is why, Grace Gang, I was like, no, don't you say it. Don't you say nothing personal about me, baby. So anyway, I'm in the emergency room and I get my labs back. And I tell the doctor, and doctors are so prideful, and then you being a woman on top of that means the chances of you being believed are slim to none. I tell the doctor, hey, listen, I'm in liver failure right now. And he was like, what? No. I was like, yes, I am. That is what my labs, that's what my labs say. And he was like, no, you're having anaphylaxis shock. I'm like, anaphylaxis? What are you talking about? He said, yeah, those monoclonal antibodies you had over 48 hours ago, you have an anaphylaxis. Let me tell you something, that's not a thing. Anaphylaxis, to the degree that I was apparently, quote unquote, having it, is not a thing. Not that far away. And most certainly it wasn't to the monoclonal antibodies. And let me tell you something, I was not happy. A person just died me with an anaphylactic reaction, the only thing that could save my life if I should happen to get COVID again during my pregnancy. Not happy. Anyway, so they completely ignore the fact that I'm in liver failure and they send me home. I go home. That night, I woke up and I had dug the skin off of my hands, my palms, my forearms, my feet, the tops of my feet, the bottoms of my feet. I had broken my nails off. So one of the things that can happen when you have a multiple pregnancy is when you're carrying two placentas, and it happens when you're having a die pregnancy, where you have the two placentas. It's very, very taxing on your liver. And then COVID also is very taxing on your liver. Everything that I was going through inside my body at that point created a perfect environment, for me to go into liver failure, like I was telling the doctor. So I call the emergency line and I tell them what's going on with me. And you know what that nurse tells me? Sorry, it's not the emergency line. It's the after hours non-emergent line. That lady tells me, you're having anxiety. You need to calm down. Oh, 1 second. So remind me when I come back. The lady said I was having anxiety, and that's why I dug all the skin off my arms and legs. Love that for me. Viper, is that not the truth? I mean, that is so. Oh my goodness. Listen, I know that you got to know a whole bunch of stuff being in the emergency room. You got to know ortho, all of that stuff. But if you don't know, you have specialists that you can call. This doctor did not specialize in pregnancy or anything like that. You know, I don't know. You know what I do know though? His wife is an OBGYN. I had seen her before. I'd been a patient of hers before. Man, I tell you what, I was so disappointed. I thought, man, I could have I can't believe you would have done better than this. But anyway, another point. So I'm at home and they tell me that you have an anxiety. Calm down. Well, spoiler alert, does not have an anxiety. And my OB calls me the next day and she's like, oh my gosh, you're in liver failure. I got to put some medicine in for you. You got to start this right now. All right. So my partner goes to the store, or the pharmacy, gets me the medicine. I started right away. And my itching really starts to resolve. I had COVID 4 times. The first time was the worst on me. I was sick for 3 months. Couldn't breathe, taste, smell, anything. But refused to go to the hospital the whole time. Vicky, why did you refuse to go to the hospital? Did you feel like it wasn't bad enough, or you didn't want to expose anyone else, or you didn't want to be exposed to anything else? Oh, excuse me. I don't have COVID right now, though. I have tested myself like 3 times. I don't know what I got. I got cooties. Well, the stress of COVID put me into liver failure, almost killed me. And then the worst part, I mean, I'm still doing great. My babies are thriving. They're healthy. There was never any blip in the radar with these little gals right here. They've always been doing great. I was just falling apart. So the worst news was I had been home on bed rest, and I got up one day. I was still infected with COVID. This was like maybe, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days after I got the medication to help my liver. It's called Ursadol. And it helps get the bilirubin levels in your, and the bile levels in your blood down, and helps regulate all of your liver enzymes and whatnot. So I got up to go to the bathroom, and I thought that I peed myself a little bit, which was, I mean, it was not unheard of when you're far along in your pregnancy. I mean, it wasn't super far along. I was around 27 weeks when this happened. 28, 27. Yes, 27 weeks. I'm sorry. It was 26 weeks and like maybe 5 days. Those days, it seems like I didn't realize how much those days actually matter until I went through this kind of pregnancy. But anyway, not the point. I get up, and I thought I peed myself a little bit. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, I didn't. The stress of COVID had ruptured the sacs of one of the babies. So I had been through everything. I had been doing everything I could, keeping my labor in check, doing what I need to do just for COVID to come in and just rip that away from me. I was so brokenhearted, because you're pregnant, your days of carrying your babies in your womb, once that sac is ruptured like that, they're numbered. They are numbered. Okay. So go to the OB, and she's like, hey, listen, you need to go home, pack your bags, get everything you need, because you're going to be staying in the hospital for a while. And I went and packed my bags, went back, was inpatient, and I was living in that damn hospital until 31 weeks and 6 days. And my OB comes in, and I mean, I already know I have to have a C-section, but one of my OBs who's been taking care of me comes in, and she was like, how you doing? I was like, you know what? I don't really feel that great. And she's like, yeah, because remember I said I have chronic pain, so I don't really understand when I'm in a high amount of pain, because you just learn to ignore it, you learn to cope, you learn to live with it. So 31 weeks, 6 days, they cut me open, they bring my babies into the world, and then they go and they stay in the NICU. And it was really rough in the NICU, but they are such little fighters. Like, girls are little fighters. I had 2 girls, 2 beautiful little babies, and they are fighters. They will fight tooth and nail. Some days they will fight tooth and nail each other, but they were fighting for their lives, and they did so good. My baby A, statistically, baby B always does worse. I don't know what it is, but the baby that they label baby B always does worse. I don't understand the science behind it. I don't understand. I don't know if it's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, once you label baby B, that's it. But it's the baby who's the highest up in the womb is baby B. The baby that is the lowest in the womb is baby A. So baby A comes home in September. They were born in July. They come home in September. And baby B, she's not doing well. She's not progressing. And I'm in a really rough spot. I was just so heartbroken because here I have my little baby A that I am trying to nurture and breastfeed and pump for my baby B because they need my milk. I mean, it was a lot. And then going through the heartbreak of just um, not having both of my babies. One of my babies is in the NICU by themselves. I can't go and stay because I have to have, you can't take Mina into the NICU. Once baby A left, I could not take baby A back in to go be with baby B. It was terrible. Oh, it's so heartbreaking. So, I have to deliver the milk every day. Hey, listen, just a little bit of egg at a time, please. Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, cutie patootie. What's that? Is that a Christmas tree? Yeah. What do you think about that? It's the most wonderful time. Anyway. Did you have a good breakfast? Oh, good, good, good. Alrighty. What are you going to be doing? You need to brush your hair, brush your teeth. Yep, go brush your hair, brush your teeth. Thank you. Dada. Mm-hmm. I'm really sorry to hear that COVID has just hurt us all so bad. So my God, my babies, they're split up. Well, finally, I start to realize that my baby B she does not getting enough stimulation in the NICU. And let me tell you something, those NICU nurses, they are angels among us. They really truly are. But they have the hands full. I mean, shoot, I'm not gonna just restrict this to NICU nurses. Our healthcare providers across the board, they're hurting. My heart really goes out to them. They do the best that they can. And they did the best that they could for my babies, right? But I'm looking at I am up there spending my time, everything, realize I have got to get you out of here. The only thing that is going to get you to where you need to be is being home with me. I will watch over you. I'm going to nurse you back to health. I'm going to get you there, right? I want to get her out of here. They say, great. We love to hear it. We're going to get everything arranged so she goes home on an NG tube and oxygen. That itself is a trip there. The only thing I had to do was just listen to y'all in the background. Not you guys, not you here in the chat, but the community as a whole, just listen in the background, like background noise, I was never able to partake. And, now I'm a mother of 3. I will say, fast forward, my baby B, I got her off that NG tube. I got her off that oxygen. She's still being followed by pulmonology because what she had, and this is not super uncommon, what she had was pharyngeal malacia. So any excitability, any heavy breathing, even eating would cause her trachea to snap shut because the little cartilage rings were not like our cartilage. If you feel your neck, it's got those little hard cartilage rings in it. Baby's cartilage is soft. Hers was softer because she was born so premature. She was born about 2 months premature. Um, but she's still being followed by pulmonology. All good. Like they're about to most likely clear her this spring and release her. Like her last visit, the only reason they didn't clear her is because I asked them to do it on her because I believe that oh my goodness, Viper. It's so too because it's like how do you it's not like it's like it's know what they say the prognosis is good. They're gonna grow out of it, but there's nothing they can do to fix it. You know, you don't know when it, and you don't know if your baby is, like I tell you, there's been times where I've been feeding my little baby bee, and her eyes are watering, and all thing is, it's like she's not like she's choking hard. Is that long-term aspiration or many moments of aspiration over a long period of time causes damage to the lungs, scar tissue to build up. Lots of different things can happen, you know. So the last time I had a little study on her, or at least I asked her, and I did it because you know her eyes will water whenever I'd be like feeding her, and they said she's good to go. They probably won't need to do any more swallow studies. She's not aspirating any food to her lungs. Good to go. You know, so my babies, you know, they're thriving, they're doing well. But you know what? I freaking had long COVID. I was like going through ringer as well. I was like, oh man, that's a story for a different day. My long journey and how I in that. Granted, I'm going to have to preface that with this is not medical advice. This is not what you should choose to look into, you know, the things that I share within that story. And you find that there's, you know, some evidence, not some, but there's a plethora of evidence to back up what I'm saying. And you decide, adult, that you'd like to go that route. I don't think that you'll regret it. I don't. But yeah, that's where I've been for a long now. And the BBs are just doing some eggs right now, some bacon, have a little bluey. You know, and I have time now. Oh, yes, it's scary. She just had a last swallow test a few months ago and finally passed it. That is wonderful, Lipa. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad that you have that off of your shoulders and you have that peace of mind now. And she's 5. I love that. She grew out of it by the time. I'm going to catch up on these comments here. Huh. Betty, you said that. The whole COVID pandemic was terrifying. It still is. It still is. I was also forced to get the vaccine. And I will tell you, it is forced. These people out here who are saying, oh, no, you willingly took the choice because we have motherfucking responsibilities. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. I get heated. We have responsibilities. We're the providers of a household. And you expect me to not take that risk on myself being to keep a roof over their head. You're going to shame me for that? Get out of here. Get lost with that. Your bad faith. Your bad faith, and you got the nerve to come over here in my face saying your stupid stuff about this vaccine that I didn't necessarily want. I waited till it was FDA approved, and then I had no excuse, and they said, listen, it's either this or you're gone. It's either this or you're gone. And guess what? I had to choose that. I had to choose that so I could choose them. Well, granted, they were not then. Sorry. But I also, remember I said my husband got COVID in college? Yeah. The provider for my household right now. And then I have a younger or an older. My job provides the income and the insurance. All right. In the middle of a freaking pandemic, you think I'm not going to take the risk of the vaccine on myself? I didn't want it. But you honestly come in my face. Talk less of a because I got the vaccine. Oh, people are no bad faith. They just want a reason to tear each other down. I mean, well, we see that. I mean, we know that. We live that every day over here in this community, just looking for reasons to tear other people down. And new comments. It should have been a choice. Yes, Terry. It should have been a choice. Will say, well, you still had a choice. You didn't have to take it. You could have just let them fire you. How am I going to feed my family? It's the same people saying that kind of garbage that would be shaming me for being on welfare and food stamps because I left my job because I didn't want to get vaccinated. People don't make sense to me these days. They really don't. Well, guess what, Viper? I was vaccinated and vaccinations, and guess what? You heard my story. I almost died from COVID. And now I have long COVID. Well, maybe I don't have long COVID anymore. I don't think I feel like I have it. But I will tell you what, that is rough. Anybody out there? Oh my gosh, Chicago. Hi. It is so nice to see you here. And yes, you are late. You missed all of the drama. Well, my personal drama. Where I've been, I've always kind of been here. So many of you were with me during that time. You don't even realize. Like, I don't know if Marissa realizes how many she was up with me while I didn't sleep because I watched over my babies because I developed this horrible anxiety about personally myself going to sleep because I had my little baby on an oxygen tube and monitors and an NG tube. So I stopped sleeping. I stopped sleeping. I don't. I always had a fear about SIDS anyway. Even with my firstborn, like I had a hard time sleeping. Sleep pattern changed. I and watched these two little girls through the night, and I watched Alf. He kept me company. I have a little cat named Well, he's not little. He's a big boy. His name is company. I over these babies all night long. I do not know how I survived that. Actually, looking back at that was insanity. But I would do it over in a heartbeat because knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that they. I need to get these little peonies cleaned up from the breakfast. I actually think yes, but it is. And though she had oxygen on, so she had a little bit of like a not really like a CPAP thing going on. She just had like the little nasal cannula. That was a little bit of positive way. She does have she had a sleep study. She has a moderate sleep apnea. Yeah. But they say she will definitely grow out of that. Chicago. What today? What for birthday? I got a mute. I got to get the Bambinis cleaned up. They really hate being clean. So to save your ears and your sanity, I'm going to mute. I'll be right back, guys. Change of plans. They're having mandarins. Oh, yes, Chicago. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Did you have anything good? We have bacon and eggs. We're having some mandarins. Oh, Patty, I love that for you. Viper, I am so fortunate that I had such an amazing team at this NICU. And I'm sorry that you were out there having to advocate for your baby, letting them know something is wrong. Because I tell you what, it people don't realize that can be because all of those years of aspirating scar them to pieces. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but you kind of need your lungs. Sorry, I need not. I had to go. Audio's not good right now. And since I'm super what I would need to do when I need to like refresh. Chicago, what do you do when the audio is bad? Help me out, honey. You know how to go live. Let me try this. Trouble. So, let's have some mandarin. Let's have some. Ooh, there's a seed. That one. Let me get that. Thank you. I need some country. Just doing this right now to kind of camera shy. Want to Goodness. Oh, that is very true. Canada, I don't know what it's made of. I don't know if it's made of. Well, my baby monitor doesn't even connect all throughout the house. I was talking about, but I did see up here that Viper was having a hard time getting people to believe her when she's trying to tell them something's going on with and one of the things that was a dead giveaway for my little baby B was that her O2 saturation just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, and it most certainly dropped even more whenever she was eating. It was because that airway was snapping shut. But like I said, she's right now. It's all good things. We're about to have an amazing. Last night I made a gingerbread house with my oldest. That was so much. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you what, Viper, you're out, especially with like my long coat fight, get them to believe me. Like before I had COVID, I was single thing I was doing. I want to know where you at on your head, okay? I can't be on time to save my life, and it's not even about the babies. I have so much support here at home, and cognitive decline. First thing to go was, and it just that I stopped giving a crap responsibilities. I don't know, but I stopped understanding time. At it, we have kind of a little internal. Oh, that got it. Let me see here. We're gonna get there. We're gonna figure this out. One second, I gotta mute. Gotta get off live. I don't know. Tell you what, though, the amount of times that Home Alone 1 and 2 have been played in my last 2 days is absurd. But my oldest loves those movies. Let me see. Oh yeah, we got an advocate. And when I was trying to tell, oh, I had made it to a very seasoned adult age before I ever had to get treated with PhD. But whatever COVID did to my brain, because let's keep it real, it's not a cold. It is more closely related to encephalitis than it will ever be influenza. The amount of damage that it does to your trigeminal nerve, to your cranial nerves, I mean, my goodness gracious. I got 3 of them, Chicago. I got 2 little baby girls. They're my twins. And then I got an older 8-year-old. Who happens to be, in my personal opinion, I don't know, we might all the whole entire world, like the whole planet. She is top dog, the best of the best. There is no banner, big sister. Am I still breaking up, girls? Oh my gosh. Chicago, thank you so much. I happen to also agree. And I don't see that to boast or brag about my wealth is in the and health of my family. And my family is growing and it's healthy and it's happy. And I happen to think that that makes me very rich. It hurts my wallet a little bit for my family to be big, but definitely doesn't hurt my heart. I happen to think I am probably the wealthiest woman I know. Well, in that case, let's just call it. We'll go ahead and we'll call it for the day. This has been a great warm-up live. I'm going to leave this posted up in case anybody wants to rewatch and hear my villain origin story, because, people are out here thinking that I am like this super nefarious creature that just popped up out of the blue to come get you. Booga booga. But it has been so nice for you all to join me and give me some of your time. Time is something that once you spend it, you get back. And I'm so blessed that you all would give me moments of your time. Oh, yay, being girl moms is bad. Okay, that being said, we kept it cute, we kept it classy, we kept it kind, and it has been so nice to be able to chit chat with you ladies. And I will see you in these YouTube streets, okay? I hope you all have a great day and it's super productive. You get all this Christmas stuff done. If you celebrate Christmas, if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays to you, okay? Oh, you said that, girl. All right. Peace out, Girl Scout.